Trying to find a place to mount you. I've already started the project. Like always, I'm like real big on just recording these days. I don't know if I'm gonna mic up just yet, so you might be able to hear me, but I don't know. I don't ever go back and check these. Just doing what I do. So what's going on is this is my 2018 Silverado. I have 206,000 miles on it. It really didn't give me any problem until 170,000 miles. I had to replace the transmission. So 36,000 miles ago, which was last year, I put a lot of miles on this vehicle. Um, I put a new transmission in. So far, so good. Uh, I just put some new tires on it right before Christmas. I put some new Bridgestones, Ascent, blah blah blah. Cost $1,400 or something like that. The tires I had before that were the Walmart Cooper or Goodyear, whichever they are, Cooper tires, ATs, and I really like those. I wanted to get them before the snow came in, and they couldn't do them, so I went to Firestone and paid double the price for some tires. These are okay. I've had them before. They're actually really, really good traction in the rain and snow. They don't like mud. Um, the ATs, those Coopers, they're great. In fact, I kept two of them because my front wheels are starting to wear faster, and then I start hearing noise. So I think the bearings might fix even some of the traction issue. I mean the wear on the tires. We'll see. But after this, I need to put the truck in the body shop because a deer hit me. So that's going to the body shop tomorrow. Then after that, I'll get the wheels aligned, or I might get them aligned tomorrow. I don't know. But we got the front wheel off. We got everything off caliper, tie rod. We're about to go ahead and take off. Well, I need to go buy some Torx bits because I don't have my T-handle Torx with me out here. They're 2 hours away, so which sucks. Keeping tools in multiple places and stuff like that. I usually have everything doubled up and all that type of good stuff. So when you're in a project late like this, then now you gotta go and pay the price, pay the local hardware store price. I am not a mechanic, at least professional. It's just hard for me to give someone else my money all the time, so I do all my work myself. That's what you see on my channel. I do all my stuff myself. Be the first time, usually. We're just gonna put these in a different toolbox. Then we need to get some orange thread locker. I know I have some, but I think they're up north too. So let's see. T30. No, it doesn't. These are, golly, what am I gonna do about that? I said, you know what? These would be good because I don't need the adapter. And I forgot what size. What size are these? Quarter inch. That ain't gonna work. Quarter by itself. Let's see. 1/16. There's a magnetite. I got some bits that will do it, make it fit. Wish I had a T handle. That's what I really had. Why did I do that? Why that's not the size of it? found out my batteries were getting wet, and I think this 5 amp battery is dead. It's like that really hurts my feelings. It was my fault. I left it out. I'm gonna have to mark that one as potentially bad. Charge that. Got 4. Alright, let's see. If we can get this thing out. I do travel with earplugs, just because sometimes you go places or randomly doing work. I can put my cans on, but I don't want to go get them. Gotta protect your ears because you just, man, you can't fix that. Can't fix that at all. This is a size 18. Cool it. And the thing that's really getting me is I don't have my my impact extensions. Hard getting stuff to fit where you want it to. Why I put 21 there? that upper one off. I might have to. I mean, honestly, I am. I'm trying not to do something that I have to do. We're gonna take the top or the bottom off. When did that go to YouTube? Bellers.
Nut, and then there's also a washer right behind the nut. Don't forget your washer. There you go. We'll set those aside. Okay. Once you get that nut off of there, you'll see that your axle should be able to freely move in and out of the center of your wheel hub. If it's not, you can bang on this end right here, either put a punch inside of this little divot, or you can screw the nut back on until it's flush with the threads, and give it a few love taps with a hammer. Push on it until it's free, just like that. And if you need to, or if you want to, you can spray a little bit of lubricant of some kind, WD or some magic wrench or liquid wrench or whatever, inside of these splines, so that once it starts moving, it'll move even better. Axle nut is out of the way. Next thing we need to do is free up this analog braking system, or ABS, wiring right here. You see it's held in place on a couple of little holders here and there. That'll give you another light. But we're going to pry these things out, and then you want to unplug it. This one's already loose up here, but it typically sits right inside of this. You just pull that out, and then to get these apart, you just push with your finger on this portion right back here, and pull it apart. Push, pull. And there we go. So this is freed up. Now we're going to undo it. Little panel tool, trim tool. Get up underneath there. Pry these little locks out, like so. There you go. And there's another one right here. And you can either use the trim tool to pry it out. And it's okay if you break it, because a lot of the new wiring will come with these already installed. My goodness, this one is being really finicky. You can cut it if you want to.
Yeah.
Not the wire, but this little Christmas tree thing.
Yeah,
See,
I
I
might
had
do
to
that.
pry that sucker out of there.
Yeah, come
You
on.
can sometimes get lucky and just push these little tabs in from the back and pull it out of its home here. And I'll show you how it goes back together in a second. So now our ABS wiring is free and clear, and we have our axle loose in our wheel hub here. And so all we have to do now is unbolt our wheel hub and pull it off the front of the axle. That axle will stay in place. And this is where the way that I'm showing you is easier, faster, and will keep that joy and wrenching a whole lot better. A lot of the instructional videos that you'll see online will say, hey, you need to remove this upper ball joint right here. You need to take off this nut, pry this out of here, and then swing the knuckle forward to get the axle out. That's not necessary. That's an extra step that I don't think you need to go through. Now, if you have to, so let's say you're in a really corroded area and this is all seized up or something like that,
Yeah,
you
I
might
might think
just
that
have to
actually
do
you
that.
have more
But
room.
if you're in the south like I am,
And
then this is the quick and easy way to do it. So our wheel bearing is held on to the knuckle by 3 bolts. So come back here and I'll show you. There's 1, 2, and one on the other side. And these are 15 millimeter. And so get your impact. You might need a little bit of a swivel like this for that impact.
Making it a pain.
15 on there.
I don't have the space.
And then
That's
loosen these up. You notice that they'll come out even with the axle in place. But sometimes this axle is a little bit larger diameter. And so you, once you've freed it up like we have by removing that nut on the end of the axle, you can push this back. And it gives you just a little bit more room to get a socket onto some of these. All right, let's get these two. I'll do that top one right there. Again, stick your 15 millimeter in there, and if you need to, just move your axle back just a hair, so make sure that you're seated on there nicely with your socket. Oops. That's been off on you. Kind of an awkward angle here with the camera and everything in the way, but I don't want you to miss too much. Go. There's that one. now let's get
This is really a pain, honestly, because proximity. And the last thing I want to do is tear up a CV boot. Golly, that would
out of our way. There we go. Now, go ahead and remove these guys and just pull them right back and out. Again, you might have to push the axle back just a little bit if you need to. And if you notice here, come over in front here, look right here. You see that gap right there? Look at that. Our wheel hub is already loose. And so I can just hold and push on the center of this axle and pull that wheel hub straight off. Just like that. And the backing plate comes with it.
Yeah, I don't want to turn my CV boots up.
The hardest thing is to get started. You have to get it on paper.
That would be the worst.
Higher and higher levels of abstraction. Just push a button. Rapid prototyping allows you to identify what's important early on. You're able to learn very quickly. People end up spending more time on the decisions of what they want to actually make.
So there, hub assembly. And as I'm turning it, I can feel the bearings inside of that thing. They're just rumbling and rumbling in my hands. And look at that. You didn't have to take off the upper ball joint. Knuckle stays in place, axle stays in place. And we've got access to clean up the board here, grease everything up, and put our new parts right in place. So now that we have our old wheel bearing and hub assembly out of the way, we can clean up this inside of the knuckle here where it rested. In a lot of places you might have rust and corrosion in here. This one looks like it's been apart before, and so somebody's greased in here, and that was really nice of them because we don't have that problem. We've got a little bit of corrosion. Now I've just got a wire brush here. You also want to clean up the splines on your axle shaft here. Get any kind of corrosion or rust off of that. Clean up back here where it sort of rests up against the back side of the bearing. Get any kind of rusty crusties off of there. There we go. Doesn't take much on this one again because somebody's been in here before, but obviously that bearing they put in here had already failed, so it doesn't have that many miles on it because this truck I think only has 130,000 miles or so. So it's interesting that it had eaten another bearing already. Once you've got all of the rusty crusties cleaned up in here, you can put a little bit of grease inside of this bore, this little axle grease, bearing grease, whatever you got. And that'll keep it from corroding up for yourself or the next guy. Somebody was kind enough to do it for us, enough to do it for the next guy. The other place you want to put some grease is in those splines. This is going to help this axle to slide into the center of our new wheel bearing hub assembly. And you don't have to, kick this thing on or anything like that. It just needs a little coating. And also right back here, where it comes in contact with the back of our wheel bearing hub assembly, you want to coat that as well. There we go. As I mentioned, any of the bolts that you take out that had Loctite on them, you want to make sure that you put Loctite back on these bolts before you put them back in. And on any suspension or brake parts, I like to put Loctite on those things just as a matter of course.
I didn't even think I was at risk of shingles. I was wrong. Talk to your doctor today.
Stupid connections.
Okay, so here's our new wheel bearing and
We
hub
already
assembly.
took one of
Here's
them
the
off. We
one
might as well take the upper
Just
one.
want to make sure that
I
they're
don't want
obviously
to
the same bolt pattern, same diameter of hole for the axle. And if you're replacing your ABS wiring, which most of them come with new wiring, you want to make sure that that's the same. Check those connectors, make sure those are the same connectors on the back. Also, bolt pattern back here that pulls it onto the knuckle. And then the other thing I like to do in the new one is, you know a bad one when you feel one. This one's nice and tight, it goes very smoothly and very quietly. So this is ready to go on. Okay, so it's time to put our new wheel bearing and hub assembly in place. So you just take your old backing plate, just the way that you took it off, and it goes on here like this. Okay, this little notch is cut out. That's to be facing towards the front of the vehicle. This little doohickey also is facing towards the front of the vehicle. And it's kind of got a concave shape. This is your back side. This side will be your front side. The one facing out has these little notches that are kicked out like this. So you just take your wheel bearing hub assembly, slide it into the middle so that your wires can pass through that little cutout, line it up just like so, slip it over the snout of our axle, and you'll feel the splines of the axle start to engage with the splines in the side of this center of this wheel hub. And once they start engaging with that, you can push the wheel hub in place, and it will just, if everything is nice and cozy for you, and there's not a bunch of here, just fall right in place. And now, grab yourself one of your 3 retaining bolts with a little bit of Loctite on it, and you can come in here and put it into the bolt hole, wiggle it a little bit, and turn it. So you might have to move the wheel bearing hub assembly and the backing plate just enough to where it lines up to where that bolt can go through it again, and you'll feel it start to engage the threads of the wheel bearing hub assembly when you got it lined up right. There we go. I'm feeling it grab threads now, and I can't pull that bolt back out. And so now this is held in with one bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and start the other 2. Now just make sure that you don't pinch this wire behind it. This is going to be your ABS wire that you snake up there.
Envision a journey designed for relaxing. A quiet swim beneath the sky. A massage by the water. Experience a calm entirely your own. The Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, or a journey worthy of you.
Dealing with information overload? Notebook LM can turn dense documents into dialogue with audio overview, visualize connections, scattered sources with mind maps, and more. Surface new insights from your sources, Google Workspace.
Get the other 2 retaining bolts for this. And just put them in by hand. Around this side, take a look. You just put them in to the holes by hand.
Yeah, man, that one's gonna be
Wiggle a little bit, and then turn it, and you'll feel it grab the threads. I can't pull it back out. There we go. And it should go in nice and smooth and easy by hand because you've got brand new clean threads in the new wheel hub assembly. Here's the last one over here. I'm going to put that in place. Again, this axle can remain here. But if you're having a little bit of trouble because it just seems like a little tight spot, just push back on your axle and give you just a little bit more fingers or a wrench or tool in here to turn that. But I'm not finding that I need to do that. Now that I've got these retainer bolts put in by hand a little bit, I'll go ahead and snug them up with my impact. Just snugging these up. We're going to torque them here in a second. You want to make sure that you can pull them through there so that it comes in nice and smooth and even. Okay, there's 2. And there's ready to torque these bolts to 133 foot-pounds. You can do 130, you can do 135. It's not to be a stickler for it, guys. But see if I get this torque guys. All right, so these get torqued to 133 foot-pounds, which is quite a bit. You're going to need your big torque wrench for that. There we go. We've got our wheel bearing hub assembly in place now. You just want to give it a spin, make sure that your axle and everything's moving like it should. This axle will be in place, obviously where it should be. You put your retaining washer and nut back in place, and I like to use Loctite, so I'm going to put a little bit of that on there, and then I'm going to snug this up with the impact, and then this gets torqued to 177 foot-pounds. And then snug this nut, this actual retaining nut up. It's 177 foot-pounds to be torqued, but I'm just going to snug it up with the impact. Everything's turning nice and smooth. Good. Okay, now let's go ahead and reconnect our tie rod end here. So take the nut off, stick it back through the hole, put our nut back in place, and as is my custom, I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on this. Hold everything in place.
It's barely hot.
And this is just medium strength Loctite, so it'll hold it in place, but it will come.
Let's see. What is it?
And then this gets tightened down. That's a 21 millimeter. This is tightened to 130 foot-pounds as well. Might need to hold. Snug that thing up.
There we
If you
go.
hold it down with some pressure, it'll keep this stud from spinning. But if it just keeps spinning on you, remember you can always hold this portion. Okay. The next thing we want to do is reconnect our ABS wiring. And again, the new wiring comes with new clips, so you just push them back into the places where they were held before. And these are the same type as the OEM one was, so it'll just go right into those holders. And then you want to reconnect the connector itself. And it just pushes and you'll get that satisfying click when it connects. And there's a couple of little holes here. Let me see if I can show you. Right in here, a couple little holes you want to line up and push this final connector into. See that? There we go. There we go. You'll see the little Christmas trees come down in there. Now, that's nice and safe and out of the way. Everything's free spinning. Next step is to reinstall our rotor. All right, let's put our rotor in place.
All right.
And
We
you'll
might
see
be able to
it's got a
partially.
special chamfered hole for that retaining bolt.
No,
And
that-
there's a spot for that
see,
retaining bolt. So just
just-
line those up, set it up in
It's
place,
just in the
take the
way.
retaining bolt, and get her started like that. There you go. And then you can just snug it up a little bit with your
What if you could deliver a seamless hiring experience to millions of employers? That's what Indeed accomplished with helping Salesforce. Agentforce onboards employers, vets job posts, and answers support questions quickly, freeing up valuable employee time. So Indeed can focus on what's important, helping millions of people find the next big opportunity.
with your tool, using back to the hook. Doesn't have to be gorilla tight, just tight enough to hold it in place. Let's go ahead and put our caliper back in place so we can take it off our hanger here. Set that aside. Now, we spread these brake pads apart whenever we took this off. The reason why we did that is so it would come off nice and easy, And so it will go back on nice and easy. So look at that, it just slides right in place. One of your retaining bolts with a little Loctite on it. Remember, these had Loctite to begin with. You just set your retaining bolt in place, and you'll feel it grab hold of the threads, get it started by hand, like so. Now it'll hold itself. Then get our other one down here. As well. You might have to kind of wiggle it in and out a little bit just to make sure that you can get those holes lined up. There we go. And we'll tighten these things down. Now these also get tightened to 135 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and just slim these down. Just much quicker that way. And we'll torque it to 135 foot-pounds. Size of these bolts is an 18 millimeter. That one. There's that one. All right, final step in this process is to torque our axle retaining nut to 177 foot-pounds. Now, this is going to be, you've got to keep this thing from turning while you're trying to torque that thing. So the best way to do it is to lower your vehicle to where you can put a pry bar in between a couple of the wheel studs there, and then stick your wrench on the nut. And while you're turning it, this pry bar will keep everything from turning so you can torque it. Well, there you go, guys. What do you think? Was that easy or what? So hopefully this saved you a ton of time and a ton of headaches, not having to take that upper ball joint off. Now, only thing left here, put the wheels back on, torque those in place, and get out there and enjoy a quiet ride again. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I saved you a bunch of time, a bunch of money. I'll have links in the description to all of the different parts and tools that I used that are pertinent. And I hope to see you guys again here on The Joy of Wrenching. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.
I don't know. Hopefully it was that side. Usually you say you turn to the right, it's the left side. Start.
Hey guys, welcome back.
We'll throw some red and tacky on there just to. Get my hands dirty with everything else, but oh no, I'm not gonna touch the red and tacky. use a mood solution. Alright, that should make it stay. I'm gonna put some lock ties, bolts, and stuff. Oh, shit, fall down. Whoa. Like there's a little, but not much actually. Yeah, make sure torque is down. That slid in real good, easy. Better than what the video was pretty much trying to make you avoid. Oh man. Sometimes these YouTubers. Another thing I did to my vehicle is I put on Bilstein shocks on the front and the back. I got rid of those Ranchos, like so. These are 5100s on the front. Probably another reason why I ain't have any issues. Like some people, like that's gonna be the first thing. I don't care if they say off-road Rancho. Garbage. Alright. Man, that's just so nice to be able to hint do these so easily. New hardware, clean. Yeah. Hopefully all these ball joints and everything go in just as nice. Alright, so now we just need to torque this mess down. Now, we have the clickety click torque wrenches. I hope I have them. I think I let somebody borrow it. Yeah. I think I let somebody borrow my click. This one only goes up to 140. Oh shoot, we got a problem.
There's the nut. And
Let's
there's
go see
also
what-
a washer behind the nuts. Don't forget your washer. There we go. We'll set those aside. Okay. Once you get that nut off of there, you'll see that your axle should be able to freely move in the center of the wheel hub. If it's not, you can bang on this end right here, punch inside of this little divot, or you can screw the nut back on until it's flush with the threads, and give it a few love taps with a hammer. Push on it until it's free, just like that. And if you need to, or if you want to, you can spray a little bit of lubricant of some kind, WD or magic wrench, liquid wrench, or whatever, inside of these splines, so that once it starts moving, it'll move even better. Axle nut is out of the way. Next thing we need to do is free up this analog braking system, or ABS, wiring right here. You see it's held in place on a couple of little holders here and there. I'll give you another light. But we're going to pry these things out, and then you want to unplug it. This one's already loose up here, but it typically sits right inside of this. You just pull that out, and then to get these apart, you just push with your finger on this portion right back here and pull it apart. Just push, pull, and there we go. So this is freed up, and we're going to undo it with a little panel tool, trim tool. Get up underneath there, pry these little locks out like so. There you go. And there's another one right here. And you can either use the trim tool to pry it out, and it's okay if you break it, because a lot of the new wiring will come with these already installed. I think this one is really thin. You can cut it in too. Not the wire, but this little Christmas tree thing. You see, I had to pry that sucker out of there. You can sometimes get lucky and just push these little tabs in from the back and pull it out of its home here. And I'll show you how it goes back together in a second. So now our ABS wiring is free and clear, and we have our axle loose in our wheel hub here. And so all we have to do now is unbolt our wheel hub and pull it off the front of the axle, stay in place. And this is where the way that I'm showing you is easier, faster, and will keep that joint and wrenching a whole lot better. A lot of the instructional videos that you'll see online will say, hey, you need to remove this upper ball joint right here. You need to take off this nut, pry this out of here, and then swing the knuckle forward to get the axle out. That's not necessary. That's an extra step that I don't think you need to go through. Now, if you have to, so let's say you're in a really polluted area, and this is all seized up or something like that, you might just have to do that. But if you're in the South like I am, then this is the quick and easy way to do it. So our wheel bearing is held on to the knuckle by 3 bolts. So come back here and I'll show you. There's one.
I think I let him
A third
borrow
on the other
my
side.
other torque
These
wrench.
are 15 millimeter, and so
Yeah, I think
get
it's
you in. You might need a little bit of a swivel like this for that impact.
I don't want to go
Get
buy
your
it.
15 on there,
I don't want to.
and then
Think
these
about
moves
this.
up. You notice that they'll
Wash
come
your
out
hands
even
and-
with the axle in place.
There.
But sometimes this axle is a little bit larger diameter, and so once you freed it up like we have by removing that nut on the end of the axle, you can push this back, and it gives you just a little bit more room to some of these. All right, let's get these other two loose. Still do that top one right there. Again, stick your 15 millimeter in there if you need to. Just move your axle back just a hair so you can make sure that you're seated on there nicely with your socket. Right, spin off on it. Kind of an awkward angle here with the camera and everything in the way, but I don't want you to miss too much. There's that one. And now let's get this bottom one. Here. Get this rod out of our way. There we go. There we are. Just like that. Okay. So now,
This is honestly why I couldn't do the job
this
last month,
back.
or a couple of days ago, because I let somebody use my impacts and ratcheting wrench and all that stuff, and then now, you know, I don't have my own tools. And then when I went to go get them yesterday, they were filthy. I had to clean them up and stuff. But I just don't like
Wow, I pulled that wheel hook.
Like, you should keep the stuff clean.
Just like that. And the back end plate comes with it.
I would sure want to go fishing. Cool, girl. How many foot pointers is that?
So there is our back bit. In a lot of places you might have rust and corrosion in here. That bearing they put inside on or anything like that. It just needs a little towards the front of the vehicle. This little doohickey also facing fall right in place. And now grab yourself one of your wheel bearing hub assembly when you got it lined up right. There we go. Feeling it grab threads now. And I can't pull that bolt back out. And so now this is held in with one bolt. I'm going to go ahead and start the other two. Now just make sure that you don't pinch this wire behind it. This is going to put that in place. Again, okay? Just snuggle these up. We're going to torque it here in a second. You want to make sure that you get all three of them at 33 foot-pounds. There's two. Here we go, 30. All right. There we go. Now, we need to torque these bolts to 133 foot-pounds. You can do 130, you can do 135. You don't have to be as sticky as far as that. But, let's see if I can get this torque wrench in here so that you guys see. There we go. All right, So these get torqued to 133 foot-pounds. Big torque wrench for that. There we go. We got our wheel bearing hub assembly in place now. You just want to give it a spin, make sure that your axle and everything's moving like it should. This axle will be in place, obviously where it should be. You put your retaining washer and nut back in place, and I like to use Loctite. So I'll put a little bit of that on there, and then I'm going to snug this up with the impact, and then snug this. To be torqued, but I'm just going to snug it up with the impact. Turning nice and smooth. Good. Okay, now let's go ahead and reconnect our tie rod end here. Take the nut out, put our nut back in place, and as is my custom, I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on this. Hold everything in place. And this is just medium strength Loctite, so it'll hold it in place, but it will come off. And then this gets tightened down. It's a 21 millimeter. This is up to 130 foot-pounds as well. Might need to hold. If you hold it down with some pressure, it'll keep this stud from spinning. But if it just keeps spinning on you, remember you can always hold this portion while you turn that nut to tighten. Okay, the next thing we want to do is reconnect our ABS wiring. And again, the new wiring comes with new clips, so you just push them back into the places where they were held before. And these are the same type as the OEM one was, so it'll just go right into those holders. And then you want to reconnect the connector itself. And it just pushes and you'll get that satisfying click when it connects. And then there's a couple of little holes up here. Let me see if I can show you. Right in here, a couple of little holes you want to line up and push this final connector into. See that? Come in. There we go. Ah, there we go. You'll see the little Christmas trees come down in there. Now, that's nice and safe and out of the way. Everything's free spinning. Next step is to reinstall our rotor. All right.
Dang, man, 177. I don't know if I can get that. We're just gonna crank it and 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 crank it. This is 133. I might be able to use this and not have to go by, but 177. Woo. Let's see how that works. I can't use an adapter. But we might not be able to get up here. Stuff that doesn't want to fit. We're cool with that. It's just now. I get this upper on here. I hate that. Must be the wrong one. Come on now. Where is it? One, two. Where'd these go? Maybe this is it. Okay, that one's it. Okay. Now where are my forks? That one ain't big enough. I'm telling y'all, shit wants to go fishing today. This was not the project for the month at all. I've been planning on doing this. I had a different issue. I took it to the mechanic. He said, "No, it ain't that, but your wheel bearing's going out." Like, what? Doggone it. So, Amazon, I go. Buy myself some wheel bearings. There it is under the jack. good. Alright, we'll go ahead and start. Mounting the brake lines and stuff. And then boom. Brake lines are mounted. Alright, now it's time to do this doggone axle nut. Is gonna be the tough part. Now where's that nut again? Doggone it. So I do the same thing. What? It's not 18? Oh, it's a 21. Yeah, this is at 21. I didn't have a 21. Alright. Tie rods on, all that type of stuff. Okay. Huh. We're gonna try to use the impact again and try to see if we can get this thing on here. I don't know. Alright, so what we'll do, gonna put that, we're gonna put the breaker bar on the ground and see if we this thing could have got it. I went 140 plus. I went farther on this than I did the other stuff. So, all right. Now it's time to put the brake calipers back on. Cutters. I use a clothes hanger to, there they are, to hold these calipers. Oh, I can't get it. I need the rotors. Make sure your hands don't have any grease on touching the rotors and junk, so poison myself with some acetone. Always have acetone. Always. I just buy it by the cans. Big cans. Here's some more because that one's empty. You can use it for almost everything except plastics, right? Alright. The rotors are good. I change my brakes regularly and everything else. These rotors are good. No hopping, no bouncing, no pulsing. None of that stuff. Okay. Now, the calipers. Clean these off. Fingerprints, anything like that. We might be able to have some room to use this thing. Because it really is nice to use sometimes. Nope. It's gotta be an 18. Uh-uh. Oh. disconnect the brake line. Bella? That ain't it. Now you really want to start them all up hand tight, you know. I mean, thread them on with your hands. Halfway in a while, I like to do my own junk because, man, you take it to place, they tear your stuff up. Some people say, Jamie, why do you do your own work? Number one, I don't like to be palms up, not knowing how to do stuff. We're in a day and age where you can go online and learn anything. Most people just waste their time. You can learn any type of job. You can make more money. You can save more money. Tell people, don't check my pocket. Oh, you buy this, you have that, you have this, you have that, you go here, you go there. You see how? I do my own work. Cut my own hair, cut my own grass. Stop falling for the hype. Letting other people do stuff for you. It's tiring sometimes. Honestly, I do these so much until I'm not going to use the torque. I know how I should feel. That ain't it, see? One. This tire looks flat. Had a friend, bought a daughter car last year or something. Something feel funny riding down the road. Told them not to go these little raggedy little places. They pulled up. They had one lug left. One lug. Now, I really want to go fishing. But sun is going down, which I don't mind. But I got two things I want to do. I need to I know it's the boat. I need to go put this in the water. I can take it down to the river, take the boat off, push this thing back. And then maybe I might still fish. Or I'll take the John boat out, mess with it. Or, since I bought 2 wheel bearings, go ahead and replace this one. It should go a lot faster. But go ahead and replace this one with another Moog product. So, they were more expensive than the other ones I bought. So, I mean, than like the other Amazon sets. There was some, you know, you can get a kit for $100, and I'm sure they would have probably worked. But what I need to go do is I want to go test this one real quick, and we're gonna see if the noise goes away. And if it does, great. Maybe I won't do it. Otherwise, if it doesn't, then come on, Bella. I mean, we got the time to do it, don't we, Bella? Let's go. Sorry for all the junk up in here. I gotta take everything out of here to go to put the truck in the body shop. See, hands dirty. 200,000 miles. Honestly, I don't know if when I had these tires put on, that seemed funny. That tire at the front, right here, that does not seem like it has 40 PSI in there. But I do have my own learning tool. I gotta pump these brakes because I push those calipers in there real good. I do have my own tire learning tool, and I had the brakes on.